I'm going to draw common law relating to the environment. First principle of common law. Piranha fish live in groups.
Fish live in groups.
For them to live in a group, there has to be a law.
There has to be a law
That they don't eat or injure each other.
that they don't eat or injure each other.
And a general rule.
Any rule.
If they did,
They did.
the group would get smaller and smaller.
A group would get smaller and smaller.
There's only one left,
But there's only one left,
which is not a group.
which is not a group.
This law must apply
The first law must apply
to any group of creatures,
to any group of creatures,
anywhere in the universe,
anywhere in the universe,
anytime,
anytime,
in any universe.
in any universe.
Therefore,
Therefore,
if there's a divinity,
if there's a divinity,
if there's a God, right, which
If there's a
created
God.
the universe,
which creates the universe, it was the universe, yes.
if there's a God, which, no, if there's a God,
If there's a God
which created the universe,
who created the universe,
that must be divine law.
that must be divine law.
Members of the group do not, as a general rule, injure each other. Members of the group.
They don't injure each other, yeah.
So any reasonable person
Any reasonable person
of any faith
of any faith
on this planet
on this planet
has to agree
has to agree
and say that is true
to say that is true
or look stupid.
or is true.
Everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Right. In British law,
British law,
the law is called the duty of care.
it's called the duty of care.
And it says
And it says
you must take reasonable care to avoid acts or omissions
to avoid acts of omission
which you can reasonably foresee
that you can reasonably foresee
would be likely to injure your neighbour,
would likely to injure your neighbour.
which is the same law.
It's the same law.
It's a fact.
It's a fact.
There are three ways to injure your neighbour.
There are three ways to injure your neighbour.
You can do it accidentally, knowingly or intentionally.
Knowingly or intentionally.
Accidentally is not criminal.
Accidentally is not criminal.
Knowingly is criminal.
Knowingly is criminal.
Intentionally is seriously criminal.
Intentionally is seriously criminal.
If you damage the environment
If you damage the environment
which your neighbour lives in,
that your neighbour lives in,
you're injuring your neighbour.
you're injuring your neighbour.
Obviously, you'll do some damage,
Obviously you do some damage,
but any unnecessary or unreasonable damage
unnecessary and reasonable damage,
done knowingly or intentionally
done knowingly or intentionally,
is criminal.
is criminal.
Everybody's doing it.
Everybody's doing it.
Everybody knows about it.
Everybody knows about it.
And if you don't carry on doing it,
If you don't carry on doing it,
you can't pay your mortgage.
you can't pay your mortgage
In the general case.
in the general case.
So, if people are paying their mortgages